All right, what's up? Peace to everybody. Welcome back. Still on this Charlie Kirk situation. Okay, so first thing first, I gotta ask you about this, man. Then we gonna move on. I'm gonna come back around and see if anybody got an answer for me. But I need to know what is special about this woman's name. Her name is EriKa KirK. I want y'all to see it. It'd be nice if y'all could see it. Okay, boom. Look at it. I want y'all to take a very good look at this name, EriKa KirK. Well, why am I tripping off her name, EriKa KirK? Look at it. Take a real good look at it. We're gonna come back to it. EriKa KirK, right? And her husband is known for doing race debates. And look how she spelled her name, EriKa KirK. I find this very interesting, very suspicious. All right. Let me show you her hugging on Trump like it's her daddy. Here go, look at that. Her kissing them fake hands. I don't know what's up with this. Never showed her face. And then she gets up here and fake cries, of course. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, yeah. That's my question I'm asking. We gonna double back, come back to that question. What is so special? Why am I tripping off her name? What am I looking at that's got me really tripping out about EriKa KirK? Here's EriKa KirK right here. There's one kiss. There's the hug, like that's her pops or something. He's like, okay, get up off me. All right. There's another kiss for you. All right, now leave me alone. The fake cry. And then she throws up the devil horns. I didn't even notice that at the very end. So yeah, EriKa KirK. I am tripping off of EriKa KirK. Okay, now we got something going on tomorrow. Tomorrow is a special day, right? And I've been talking about this number. Let me show you why just really quick. It's for LeBron and Brownie. This tomorrow is September 23rd. All right. I'm talk about 239. I'm saying this number is a special number. 239 is the 52nd prime number. That's for president. Let me show y'all this video right quick. And so I've been talking about this number for a while, but turns out people somewhere, I don't know where, has this day circled. They're looking at this date. I had no clue. I've been talking about these three numbers, 239, and tomorrow is that day. Has this been on a warning all along? And it's just funny that there's a video just perfectly about this date. I ain't even talk about that. Just talk about the number, 239.
Are getting prepared for any type of disaster because that's what's happening in the month of September. So we're getting you ready.
Go ahead. Tell yourself it's just a number.
The future can be scary.
9 hours and 23 minutes. You'll be mine.
The miracle of deliverance. By 9:23, the water of life shall proceed forth from the throne of the Lamb.
Nine 23.
Your father?
The Prince of Darkness!
Let the new prince be decided on Saturday. First South Park, then the world.
Signing off 9/23.
September 23rd.
September 23rd.
This is Agent Dunham. I need immediate evac. 923 Church Street.
Captain's log, stardate 23.9, rounded off to the nearest decimal point. We've traveled back in time to save an ancient species from total annihilation.
She called us this Thursday morning, 9:23.
September 23rd.
Oh shit, 239. I know y'all probably can't see it, but yeah, it's right there. Okay, I don't know what's up with the music, but I know we can't play no music. But yeah, that's tomorrow. It's funny to see. Now, the question I asked in the beginning was, what's up with Charlie Kirk's wife's name? Why they spell it like that? Why am I tripping off of it? Does anybody have a guess? Does anybody got a guess? Why am I tripping off her name being spelt like this? And you know, he's known for race debates. But they say he's not racist. All right, but what else I got? I got something else here too, man. Oh yeah, the game tonight. Another black quarterback versus another white quarterback, right? Of course. Okay. Let's play a little bit of this. Then we're gonna go back to EriKa KirK, trying to figure out what's up with that name. All right, let's go.
A rifle from a drop point.
President Trump saying this today on Fox News.
In custody, everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job.
That will be now remembered forever, at least for this generation of brainwashed sheeple, much like earlier generations remembered actors who were put in place like Lee Harvey Oswald. Charlie Kirk's shooter has been identified as Tyler Robinson, and you got to love the cookie cutter name. That's another calling card that they give because they want to make sure everybody can pronounce the name. It's a simple name. It's a fake name. Might as well be George Glass. But here is your actor, and of course, we have all the people out there who are thrilled. They're celebrating. We got him, but they're also really disappointed because the conservatives who want war, who want blood, are now trying to figure out who to go after because their hope of it being a transgender shooter didn't come through. The government decided to take a pivot, but everybody should be able to agree that this was indeed a government operation. And we're going to talk about some of the agendas that we're hearing about, being whispered about when it comes to accountability and how we can prevent these crimes in the future, because that's really what a lot of this comes back to. So we have the images of him. I mean, it's almost incredible. These guys all have these professional headshots done. I don't know what kids are getting professional photographs done like this for. I mean, I'm surprised he doesn't have an IMDb page. At least as of right now, nobody has found one. But all the pictures, of course, are anti-Trump pictures, like this one where he's sitting on a doll of Donald Trump. Supposedly this is a Halloween photograph where he's riding on the back of Donald Trump. Lots of photos scattered all across his obviously set up Facebook page where he's constantly using guns and rifles, showing that he's a gun enthusiast. And of course, this causes instant gratification for the Democrats because now they're looking at him and saying, well, he's a gun enthusiast. In fact, he's not even a registered Democrat. And this gets the conservatives and the Democrats to go after one another as the seesaw goes back and forth. And conservatives don't want to believe that this is the actual guy. A lot of them out there questioning if this guy's taking the fall for a real transgender person, this guy taking a fall for somebody else. They're even calling for evidence because they clearly are bloodthirsty, and they're bloodthirsty for somebody who identifies more as a liberal. And I'm surprised that the government didn't give it to them. But there will be things that we have to pay attention to that come out of this because these things always happen for a reason. And the reason that they happen are to bring in new laws for the government to get everybody out there to agree with the things that they want to mandate and push and shove down our throats, including surveillance, including pre-crime laws, which I'll get into later in the video, which will shock you, which I've been talking about on the website recently. But first, I want to get into some of the calling cards that the government has left us because they always leave us calling cards. We've covered all the obvious ones, right? With him writing on his gun, those types of things. But how about the little, just tiny ones that we say? And I do want to start off by saying I thought it was really funny. I didn't even know the flag for Utah happened to be a beehive, right? Symbolizing, of course, that hive mind. Even has a nice pentagram underneath it. You know, the pentagram that everyone thinks is a star, which is really an occult symbol. You see it with the lines through it, you immediately think of a witch, right? Take the lines out, you think of America. Think again. The people running your country are all in covens, secret societies, and they all worship their God.
If you're struggling with any of these sluggish thyroid symptoms,
that was
like getting
coming.
out of bed in the morning, thinning hair, brittle nails,
Lucifer, and even the beehive happens to be inside of a hexagon, and it's a golden beehive on top of that for our golden Apollo Donald Trump. But let's start with the 33 calling card. We actually have 2 calling cards here because we hear from the head of the FBI, and he lets us know that it took them 36 hours, and there's your 3-6, to find him and capture him, but it catches himself and looks into the camera and lets everybody know, actually, it took 33 hours to apprehend him.
And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise.
So first you get your little 666 coding because that's how they work. 3 6s and 3 6s. And then he pivots and gives you the exact amount of time that it took, which happened to be 33 hours. How convenient. For those of you that might be new to this stuff, all government hoaxes have 33 codes encoded in them, whether it's an address, whether it's the age of the supposed shooter, whether it is the amount.
Canelo and Crawford. That was a 33. CC. Another is a 33.
Of victims, they will always mention to you the number 33, and he gave it to us immediately. In fact, he even gave us a little bit more detail about the time that Charlie Kirk was actually shot, the time that the bullet supposedly ended.
Even when you're dealing with JFK and with Charlie Kirk, the shooter, they found him 33 hours later. He turns out to be 22 years old. JFK was shot on November 22nd, 11/22. Add that up, it's 33. And he's killed in Dallas along the 33rd parallel. So
Entered his body. It happened to be 12. What is it?
Matter of fact, nope. I didn't know nothing about Charlie Kirk. What I was talking about, it's looking like a political assassination is coming because if you look at JFK, he became president in 1960. Abraham Lincoln became president in 1860. We just had the 60th presidential election, so I kind of seen it was something with that 60. And so I'm thinking it's going to be. I thought it was going to be Trump, but it turns out it's Trump because that card, that Illuminati card with Trump is on, is enough is enough. And I think that's what Trump said after Charlie Kirk got shot. Was enough is enough. So this thing is playing out.
23.
A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday.
Of course, 1223, backwards 322, another code that we always see. A lot of the biggest false flag government operations happen on March 22nd. If you go back and look at some of the events, which include the supposed terror attacks in Brussels, Belgium, that killed 35 people, as well as the bridge bombing event.
Especially with these terrorist attacks that involve the Muslims, and like Hamas. The dude who started Hamas, you go look at his death date. He died on March 22nd, 322. So he's right about that.
In London at the Westminster Bridge. That also happened on 322. And again, if you don't know, 322 is a calling card because it's a reference to the secret society Skull and Bones, which is directly operated out of Yale, but we may as well say it's directly operated out of your government because a lot of the members of your government, including past presidents like the Bushes and other political figures like John Kerry, are prominent members of Skull and Bones. And the number 322 is a reference to the book of Genesis chapter 3, verse 22. Then the Lord God said, behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil, and no less he reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever. And that story, of course, is about eating from the tree of life, knowing both good and evil, and of course, humanity's disobedience towards God. And you're talking about the children of disobedience who run the United States of America in both the Republican and Democrat.
The tree of life is a real tree. The tree of knowing good and evil is a book. That book, the book says don't take it serious a few times. I'm talking about the Bible. That is.
At parties, and of course, divide and conquer happens to be the motto of these secret societies, order out of chaos. And that's exactly what they're doing with the political parties known as the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. But interesting to note in regards to the shooter, as of right now, they're saying that Tyler Robinson is registered as nonpartisan. I wonder if we'll hear a little bit about him being nonpartisan, because remember, people who are nonpartisan don't endorse specific parties. And a lot of the pushback that all of us, the people who have followed my channel for all these years, have found, of course, in being canceled time and time again, is that conservatives don't like the fact that we're not on board, and Democrats don't like the fact that we're not on board with them. They can't understand or grasp the fact that there's people that think that all of it is fake and that it's a division mechanism created by your government to bring about mass division among the citizens. And of course, they always look at the opposite party instead of looking at the clowns that they don't even elect who are put into office. So there are whispers out there about the fact that he's not even affiliated with a specific party. There's whispers out there that maybe he was somebody who was radicalized at school because he had liberal ideologies carved into his gun, right? This is a narrative to pay attention to. Radicalized at school. That's why it needed to happen at school. That's why I talked about all these events we don't think about, how all of these actors that were brought in 2016 who started showing up at college campuses.
And he's not 31. That hairline is not no 31. And I was thinking about this because his wife is older than him. And I'm like, well, that usually don't happen. Women do not like to date no younger men. I mean, they might have a little fun with you, but taking you serious and marry you, nah, they rarely do that. This dude is not 31, bro. They use that number because it's the 11th prime number and 31. There's a few other, matter of fact, I don't,
doing these debates with Democrats, it became this new thing, and everybody like monkey see, monkey do emulates it. How many people have we seen to have copycat channels of Charlie?
If you just look last night, the Chiefs versus the New York Giants, it was 22-9. 22 plus 9 is 31. It's 31s everywhere. They're everywhere.
Kirk, who go out there with
matter of fact, we do keep pushing. Let's just keep pushing.
Microphones on campuses who want to debate with Democrats who are conservatives, right? It's a very common thing, and that's something the CIA does. They start these things and start this type of behavior, and they have these social influencers try to get you to engage in it. So how convenient that this whole operation wrapped up at one of these Q&A situations where Charlie Kirk was on a campus, but he was radicalized, right? That's the new term that we're hearing. Radicalized. Was radicalized by the professors at his university because he wasn't a Democrat or a Republican. And somehow he got these liberal ideologies in his mind. Of course, this is part of the divide and the separation. This is part of what they want with AI governance. These universities aren't going to exist. People are going to agree that we could be trained through artificial intelligence. We could be trained through technology, that we don't need humans to do it because, of course, of the party affiliation. Republicans don't want their kids being taught by Democrats and vice versa. And that's part of the game. The solution, AI governance and AI education infrastructure, which the World Economic Forum has been pushing and talking about. In fact, you may have noticed they tried to do a bit of a trial run when they got everybody to start being educated.
Hey, man, y'all better be investing in AI, bro. Right now, that is the hot shit. That it's smoking right now. I will find a little AI stock and put just a little bit. Yeah. Don't go too crazy, but I would invest in some AI, man, because it's coming.
Online during their pandemic a few years ago. That was part of the trial run to get people conditioned into being schooled online. And it worked, just like I've mentioned many times. How many people now would rather do things online than do them in person? Shopping, going and seeing family. Right? People are more interested in FaceTiming with their girlfriends than going and seeing their girlfriends. That's the world we live in. So Charlie Kirk suspect, let's move into some of the other bullet points out there. His bullet casings engraved with taunting, anti-fascist messages. He wrote, "Hey, fascist, catch," followed by an up arrow symbol, a right arrow symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. He then went on to write Bella Ciao, which translates into beautiful goodbye. And then, I mean, this was actually made me get really wrote, if you read this, you're gay. I mean, oh, what a time to be alive. So Charlie Kirk's shooter, this is the narrative that seems to be the most important right now. Because remember, they want revenge, they want blood. Who are they supposed to look at now that we don't have some trans person presented to us as the shooter? There's going to be obviously right-wing conspiracies that are formed that will tell you that he was a plant for somebody else. But one of the narratives, you have to look at what is the media talking about, because that's how they brainwash. Remember, you turn the TV on, you're not being informed, you're being conditioned. The news is there to manufacture you. So when the news tells you this is what the guy did, this is who he is, and then you say, well, that's not what I expected, then they'll say, well, how do we prevent this? What was he doing? How did he not could we have caught him beforehand? And they start shifting towards that narrative because the media tells them to shift towards that narrative. And one of the narratives out there is that the shooter's Discord chats revealed rifle bullet inscription and disguise plans, that he plotted to kill Charlie Kirk in his Discord. That's where the conspiracy occurred, to kill him. It was all done online. Why didn't we stop him ahead of time? Well, let's let the sheriff first tell you what actually occurred, how they found their patsy here, where they went to the roommate and the roommate showed him images from Discord, and the Discord was just people conversating about assassinating Charlie Kirk. Well, if they're writing it online, can't somebody intervene first? Well,
all right, don't forget EriKa KirK. What's up with that name? Why am I so fascinated with EriKa KirK's name? She is the superstar right now. She got all my attention right now. EriKa KirK. What is up with that name? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. Just look at her name. Look at her name. Think about her husband, who he is, and what's going on in the world right now, and just tell me. Like at some point, your mouth should drop. Like, what the? This is crazy. All right, it's right there in the name. I promise you.
Oh, let's listen to the sheriff first.
Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits.
So interesting. He was writing this stuff online. This could have been prevented. Maybe if somebody came forward, right? If somebody just came forward and said, this guy's been talking about this in the Discord, but everybody in the Discord had the same ideologies as him, and they were all radicalizing one another. So maybe we need something else to police it, like artificial intelligence and pre-crime. But the right-wingers first are angry. They are angry, and they want to know who's responsible. So one of the things, of course, that they're doing right now, since they can't take it out on somebody who's trans, is they're going after the parents. If you go through the parents' stage Facebook accounts, Amber Jones Robinson, the mother, we have people commenting there who are saying you could delete posts, but you can't delete your son's past. Tyler is a dead man. Disgusting. Your son is going to hell and you're a disgrace. Keep deleting. You raised a killer. This is what the MAGA crowd is doing. They're taking their anger out, right? It's part of the game, right? Killer. Son is a POS. How does a family of registered Republicans go so wrong? You failure of a father, trailer trash who raised a murderer. You are garbage. You're a failed parent and person. You should be ashamed of yourself. So where are they going to seek vengeance, ladies and gentlemen? Where are they going to get the answers that they want? Because they wanted to see, let's be real, they wanted to see a picture of a transgender shooter blasted on the airwaves so that they could call for vengeance and call for their red flag laws, because the conservatives are going to want the guns of the Democrats, right? Just like the Democrats want the guns of the conservatives. It's incredible how this psychosis has evolved over the last 8 years or so since Donald Trump emerged on the scene, or 9 years now, when he became president for the first time in 2016 when he was selected. So we have people out there saying, who radicalized this guy on Discord? Who's behind it, right? Think about where we're headed here. Who's responsible? Not Tyler Robinson. Not Tyler Robinson responsible. Who are the people who radicalized him? I've talked about this notion for a long time, right? Remember when the shooting happened at that Comet ping pong place, the pizza place? You might have heard about it in Washington. The whole narrative that came out is that he was radicalized by misinformation online. And that was the reason that he went and did that. And everybody said, well, anybody out there who was saying that was going on should get canceled. They should lose their channels. They should lose their ability to speak online. That's ridiculous. So your ideas and your opinions being said online, but somebody else acting on them, even if you're not inciting violence. And now the conservatives have moved towards what the Democrats were saying 10 years ago. They're pointing a finger at anybody who was conversating with Tyler Robinson. They want to know if this was a conspiracy to commit murder. Who else was in the Discord? And most importantly, who is responsible for firing this guy up? Because this guy is not a registered Democrat. Somebody radicalized him, and we need to find out who. Who was he watching? Who was he listening to? Who was he speaking to? Who are his teachers and professors at the universities? Somebody was communicating with him to make him feel this way. So think about that narrative about radicalized gunmen, because we just heard it a few days ago. Desmond Holley, 16, the same day, I believe, as Charlie Kirk shooting, so nobody really got to hear about it. ID'd as Evergreen High School shooter the day after radicalized gunmen shot 2 Colorado students. The story was all over the place, and every single one of them said radicalized by some extremist network. The 16-year-old student with authorities say opened fire at his Colorado high school on Wednesday, wounding 2 classmates and then turning the gun on himself, of course, was believed to be radicalized by some extremist network. They go on to say, while authorities are still looking into the shooter's motive, they believe he was radicalized by some extremist network. And they had a mission. Authorities said they are trying to better understand that network and are searching his phone, home, and locker to learn more on who he was communicating with before the shooting. And you may remember the trans shooter a couple of weeks ago, I guess. I covered it over on the website. Robin Westman, who was critically mentally ill, right? Went and supposedly shot kids. They wanted to let you know it came through a stained glass window so you could get the whole vision.
I like that guy. Kyle for uprise. Yeah, man. Charlie Kirk wife. What's up with this name, bro? EriKa KirK. All right, hit the like button. Hit the like button. EriKa KirK. Because they could have spelled it with a C, but they spelled it with an extra K. So this turns into it stands out so much to me. It's crazy. It's KKK. And they got up there talking about the Civil War. They got up here talking about the Civil War. And this woman, because the letter is taller than the rest of the letters. To me, it just stands out so much. KKK. And I believe that was done deliberately on purpose. Because this is just a racist ass place, man. As much as I try to defend America, boy, they just do dumb shit. This is stupid. And nobody's gonna call this out, but to me, that's clear, right? They're playing around with race, and they get this woman, and now she talk about running for office or something like that. It's all a game, bro. She's talking about running for office, and the Eagles won. Get that damn Eagle. The Eagles is 3-0. Should have known something was up. Yeah, EriKa KirK. It's 3 Ks for no damn reason. Other than it's meant to be like that. This was done purposely. This was done purposely. She's 35 years old, I think. Ain't she? Or 37, one of the two. I think she's 5 years older than Charlie Kirk, so she got to be 36. But for some reason, I'm thinking she's 35. As a matter of fact, let's just see. Because I'm curious now. How old is this? She's 36. Her birthday, the same birthday as Joe Biden. Born in 1988. 88, like Trump. And Back to the Future. And this is when rap music became gangster in 1988. Officially became gangster. All right, man. Like, comment, subscribe. We up out of here. Didn't nobody guess it? 3Ks, EriKa KirK. Racist ass. I'm gonna stay on top of it, man. We'll check back. Like, comment, subscribe. We out. Peace.